are about thinking beyond the obvious. And today I have my special guest, helping parents and leaders use their greatest superpower, their words, to help shape the next generation, other than Miss Jody Hill. Welcome, Miss Jody on Abstract Essay. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here. My name is Jody. I am mama to four children and a wifey to an amazing husband. I also have a bonus daughter. And my heart is to help equip other parents to raise confident and capable kids with the power of their words. And that is what I do.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Miss Jody. Thank you. And congratulations for a best-selling author as well.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm inviting you to be part of my book one review. I'm celebrating either a best-selling author or award-winning author every month, which is I feature you
Whoop, whoop.
as. Yes, I hope you will be my feature author of the month of April because I do have already for March, uh, either a best-selling author or award-winning. So, but today on Abstract Essay, let's talk about your voices still matters. The power parents have to shape a child's identity in a noisy world. Is it related to your book itself?
Yes. So my book is called The Parent Secret Superpower, and it's about the power that our words have. So our words have a lot of different powers. We can shape and impact our children and how they navigate this world. We can use our words to raise confident and capable kids. And our
Mm.
words are some of the most, and the reason I call it a secret superpower, because a lot of parents don't realize that it's a power that they have that they're not even aware of. And we can help if I can help them yield that power in such a way that makes a difference in the lives of their children and their children's children, then let's do it.
Yes, let's do it. So, thank you for that book, Miss Jody. So, if my child in your voice were recording of the words I've spoken to them most often over the past year, what would it say about who they believe they are?
Yeah, I think what's really important is what a child believes about themselves is what they start thinking about, and that impacts how they show up in the world. And who is the most influential person in a child's life that they're around the most? And it's their parents or their caregivers. Sometimes it's teachers and coaches, right? And so, whatever we are speaking over our children and speaking to our children is what they take on as an identity. And then they start to act that out. And I think many parents are careless with their words. So, for example, they will say, "Oh, you're just in that phase. Oh, you're just moody. Oh, you're just crabby. Oh, you're just mean." And as children hear that, they take that on as an identity. And then they start believing that about themselves. And then they start acting that way. And so, my goal in life was I want to raise children who are confident in who they are and who are capable. And that starts with the words that I speak to them and speak over them.
Miss Jody, when my child makes a mistake, I do speak to the behavior they choose or the identity I believe they hold.
Yeah.
And what is the difference in what they hear?
Well, I think it's really powerful to be able to check in with ourselves and to not take the situation as it may seem initially. So, for example, there is a belief that my child is going to have their terrible twos. And this is a season in life that parents experience where their kid just seems to be crazy. Lots of temper tantrums, lots of craziness, right? And I have had 4 children. I've raised them, and not one of them have gone through the terrible twos. And why is that? And I'm going to share with you why.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that if we are looking for something, we are going to find it. So if I approach my kids in such a way where I believe that they are going to be terrible, they are going to throw temper tantrums, they are going to be defying my authority and doing bad things, I'm going to start to see that. I'm going to expect that behavior and I'm going to show up in those situations as if, like, yep, here you are again. You are doing this bad and terrible thing. But if I can shift my perspective and not believe the worst, but be like, okay, many parents say terrible twos is a real thing. I get that. Kids can act crazy and not perfect, they're human. And also, what else can I believe about that period of life where kids are growing? And it's, oh, their brains are developing. They're learning what they can do, what they can't do, and they're learning boundaries within our parents, right? As we are showing them what's appropriate. So, there's this interaction I had with my child, and he did something where a parent could look at that and be like, that is terrible to behavior. He's taking his juice box, he's tipping it upside down, he's squeezing it all, he's making a mess. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Stop. I'm going to pick you up, get you out of the room, and I'm going to clean this up myself. So the kid, little do we know, he's just 2 and he's just trying to understand what happens when I take this and I tip it
Mm-hmm.
upside down. But all of a sudden, the mom or dad is believing that he's doing it to be mean, he's doing it to be bad. And so they're taking him and then moving him. And he's like, what's going on? So he starts crying and kicking and screaming because all of a sudden he's pulled away from something he was really enjoying doing. And what happened? You got the terrible 2 behavior that you expected. Instead, because you don't want to say, yeah, just throw juice everywhere. That's okay. That's not okay. But instead, you're like, oh, okay, let's put the juice right back. I see that you're having a lot of fun. But if we have a juice box and you want to squeeze it upside down, let's maybe do that outside. Inside, you can drink it. And just remember, when it's gone, it's gone. So I'm not going to keep giving you juice boxes to squirt everywhere and make a mess. You can squirt it outside, you can drink it inside. And then the kid has a choice. Okay, I know what I can do in the home and I know what I can do outside. And once it's gone, it's gone. And then we clean the mess up together. I hand them a paper towel and we're just cleaning it up. And then he gets to choose what he wants to do, right? Completely different outcome. And it's all about what we believe as parents, what we expect to see from our kids, and how we show up in that situation. It makes such a huge difference.
A big, huge difference, Ms. Jody, and thank you for empowering us. And you need an applause for that. Thank you for reminding us that our children, our kids are just a kid. They want to play. And we need to extend our mind and imagination to go beyond that. In a
Yes.
world full of external voices, peers, media, school, am I being intentional about making my voice the loudest? Or am I letting the noise drown me out?
Yeah. It's our jobs as parents to realize that we are the most powerful and most influential voice in our kids' lives. And they are going to have friends saying things. They're going to have social media telling them things about who they are and about their bodies and what's acceptable and what's not. You're going to have TV and news and all of these other influences. But by default, we as their parents, they care about our voice and they care about what we say about them and how we speak to them. So, my encouragement to other parents is if you want to be the loudest voice, be the most positive voice. It doesn't mean you can't help correct them when they're doing things that maybe aren't the best or you notice ways that they can grow, right? But what I'm saying is you be the voice at home that can instill that belief and confidence that they have in themselves. So then when they go out into the world and they have friends pressuring them to do things that they don't maybe necessarily want to do, or you have a guy going to your daughter telling her like, hey, do these things with me, I really love you, that they can come from a place of so much confidence in who they are, the belief in themselves and their capabilities, that they can say no to that stuff and those voices don't matter as much. But it starts with us in the home speaking belief into them about who they are and their identity and what they're capable of.
Again, empowering answer. Miss Jody, do my children know that I believe about them? Not just what I think about their grades or behavior, but who I see them becoming.
Yes. It's really important. I think it's really interesting that you mentioned grades because a lot of children, I think, are like, if this is, I'm a good kid if I do this. If I get all A's, then I'm great. My parents will be happy. But what if they get a B? What if they get a C? And what if they genuinely did their best? I remember growing up, I was a straight A student, worked really hard. That was just me. And I remember I took chemistry and first quarter, I got an A, then I got a B, then I got a C, and then I got a D. And for me, that was like crushing to get bad grades, right? And I remember my mom saying, "Did you try your hardest?" And I was like, "Yes." She's like, "Okay, that's all you can do." And I didn't feel like a failure. And so, as parents, I think it's so important to affirm the good that we see in our kids. So maybe they're working really hard, right? "Hey, Sarah, I noticed that you are working so hard on that. I'm so proud of you." You're not praising the A or the B, you're praising who that person, that child is. "Hey, Johnny, I noticed that you were struggling with that math problem, but you asked for help. That's such an important thing to do. Let others help." Or, "I'm so proud of you that you didn't give up." And when we can speak those life giving words, one, they can see it themselves because sometimes they can't even see that. And they're like, "Yeah, I am a hard worker. Yeah, I don't give up. I can keep doing hard things." When we can speak that over our children, they blossom and they grow. And that's how we are creating confident and capable children. It's not big things that we have them repeat after themselves every day, which affirmations are great. "I'm kind, I'm confident, I work hard." Like all that stuff is great. But it's in those small moments, if we can see great characteristics in them and call them out and call them up. "Hey, I noticed that you were really kind to your sister today when you did this for them. Thanks for doing that. You're a really kind kid." If we can do things like that, those are little seeds that just sprout inside of them and grow so big to really raise great kids.
Certainly. When I correct my child, do they feel that I'm disappointed in them as a person or disappointed in the core they made?
Mm. Yeah, I think as parents, how they take that depends on how you show up with them and how is it that we are going about it. My goal whenever I interact with my kids is never to shame them, make them feel bad for it, or to even inflict pain on their poor decision, because every mistake is a learning opportunity, right?
Hmm.
So let's take, for example, my child, it's their responsibility to pack their lunch for school. Or yeah, pack their lunch and bring it to school with them. Okay. That's their job. So say they forget to do it, right? And then they come home and they're like, "Oh, I was so hungry today. I didn't get my lunch." And so the not best approach would be like, "I can't believe you forgot your lunch. You are so forgetful. Were you hungry all day? Good. I bet you were." Like they already know they made a mistake. They already felt the consequences of their mistake, which was they were hungry all day at school. So how I approach situations like that is like, "Oh man, I saw you left your lunch here at home. I'm so sorry. That's such a bummer. Were you hungry today? Ugh, I bet you were." So I'm empathizing with them, right? And I'll say, "What can you do differently to remember your lunchbox tomorrow?" They're like, "Well, I can write a note at the door," or, and then helping them problem solve. So if they do something wrong or bad, it's an opportunity for us to come alongside them, help them experience the natural consequences of their bad choice. They went without lunch for a day. And then talk and help them problem solve, help them think of the ideas. And if they need suggestions, we're there for them. I think the best thing we can do as parents is support our children in life and try instead of trying to control them so they never make bad decisions. Because if they never make bad decisions in our environment at home and we're always there to like shame them and keep them in line, then like what are they going to do once they get out of our home? They're not even going to know how to problem solve or be okay with making, bad decisions.
Hmm. So, what is the phrase I heard from my own parents as a child that I still carry with me today? And is my child carrying similar phrases for me?
Yeah, so what I hear you asking is like what are things that I've heard my parents say, right?
Hmm.
That I'm
Hmm.
now saying to my kids,
Yes,
and what is the impact of that on our kids?
definitely yes.
Yeah, I think it is so important for us as adults that are now parents to really sit with ourselves and analyze those things that we have believed. Like, I'm trying to think of some. If you have one that you've heard and you want to say it, but I'm trying to think of some that have been like said to me growing up. Um, I just know that there's certain beliefs that we can carry with us. For example, terrible twos are terrible and they're horrible. When my kids become teenagers, they're going to be difficult. Like all of those things, like sit down with those and be like, is that true? What else could be true? Is it true that my kids are going to go through the terrible twos? Well, no. Jody was just saying that her kids weren't terrible. So what else could be true? Or, the belief of like, yeah, teenagers are horrible. They're going to be horrible as you're raising them. It's like, okay, is that 100% absolutely true? And it's like, okay, let's use our mind to start thinking of other data that can inform us differently. Well, these teenagers are actually great kids. So their parents are doing something different. Something different is happening there. My kids don't have to be like those, like the beliefs that I'm thinking and taking with me and believing that they're just going to be bad kids. So I think it's really our job as parents to really challenge the beliefs that we have believed from our own parents and our own experience raising up and challenge those and decide, is that what I want to believe about my kids? And if I believe about my kids, is that going to give me the best results when I raise my own kids? And if it's a belief that's negative, like my kids are going to be horrible in the teenage years, then no, I don't want to believe that. So what new belief can I form? And when I start to get a new belief, it affects my thoughts and it affects how I show up with my kids and it affects my actions with them. And that really is such a huge shift when we believe the best about our kids. Yes, are they human? Yes, are they going to mess up? Of course, they are. But if we can navigate it from a place of, okay, mistakes are learning opportunities, right? And I get to guide my child into making good and healthy choices and to being a capable adult, then that will go really far.
Again, empowering answer. Miss Jody. Thank you for empowering us. We are here to guide them, people, not to control them. If my child wrote down three things they believe are permanently true about themselves,
Mm.
where would those beliefs have come from?
I would say it would 100% come from their parents. They may have gotten some from friends, but the ones that really stick will come from their parents because we are around them the most. We're the most influential people in a child's life. And my commitment with my kids is I want the three core beliefs that they grow up with to be positive ones. Not that they're dumb, they're stupid, they're emotional, they're strong willed. Like, I don't want any of those negative beliefs to be what continually plays in their mind. I want them to know that they're capable. Like, I am capable to do hard things and to know their identity and their belief, knowing that they are loved and that they are valued just as they are. They don't have to perform, they don't have to do things their friends are telling them what to do, like, hey, take this drug or do this. Like, none of that, that they know that their value and their worth is because of who they are and they don't have to perform for that. And if I can raise kids who are confident and capable in who they are and their abilities, I will raise great humans that can impact the world.
Great humans indeed. So the parent's secret superpower are a line of what we're talking about today, Miss Jolly.
Yes, 100%. What I share in the book is 7 simple strategies to raise confident and capable kids. What are 7 practical things that we can do as parents to raise our children into being confident and capable? And, one of the things that I talk about is to stand against the villainous beliefs. It's a superhero theme. So it's the villainous beliefs. And it's like what we've talked about. What are the things that I'm believing about my child that really can impact them negatively? And how can I shift that belief? Another strategy that I encourage parents to do is call out greatness in your kids. So the negative words can hit so deeply. And so, if we can take the power of our words and instead of impacting our kids negatively, but we can impact them positively, what a huge shift can that be? So, what I'm very intentional with my kids throughout the day, when I see them doing something great, I'm affirming them, I'm encouraging them. I spend time with them every night, snuggling with them before bed, and I think back on the day, I'm like, what is something that I saw in them that I saw them do that was really cool that I want to encourage them in that? Just things like I had mentioned where it's like, hey, I saw you worked really hard on your homework. I'm proud that you didn't give up. I see that in you, and you're a kid who doesn't give up when things get hard. Or I love your imagination. I love seeing you play so well with your sibling, or, just any little thing that we can encourage our kids in it just plants a seed that grows really big in their lives.
Certainly, people set up their foundation, and for sure, it will rooted through their whole life.
Yeah.
So, Miss Jody, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in sixth season, abstract poetry in third season, of course, my book 101 review in sixth season too, comedy 101 fourth season, and of course, my food 101 in sixth season as well. Geography 101 love letters, movie 101 review, music, our fifth season, science 101, sex 101 are in fourth season, and my baby podcast Trivia 101, Motivation 101, Spiritual Awakening 101, Entrepreneurship 101, Law 101, Mental Health 101, and of course, Bible Verses 101, as well as Coaching 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Jody, if my child were to write a letter for their future self 20 years from now, based on what we've spoken into their life, what would it say about who they believe they are capable of becoming?
Hmm. Yeah. That letter would say that I can do anything, and that if I try and don't give up, and when I'm knocked down, I'm able to get back up again. I'm able to ask for help. I'm able to work with people. I'm able to get help. I'm able to do the things that I've set out to do. Then they'll be unstoppable. They really will be able to navigate through life, the hard times, the good times, all of it.
Well, empowering answer, Miss Jody, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your book, your advocacy, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Yeah, if they go to freebie.itsjodyhill.com, I actually have a free download available where you can get my top confidence boosters and busters as a parent raising children. So you can get that download immediately sent right to your inbox. You just have to enter in your email, and it will get you on your journey or help you continue your journey to raise confident and capable kids and be intentional with the words that you use over them.
Definitely, people, let's support Miss Jody Hill because if you support her, for sure, more and more empowering books like this to come, more and more empowering advocacy will rise. So, Miss Jody, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and you are most welcome. I'm inviting you to be back on Book 101 Review, and let's talk about again the book itself. More to come, people. See you soon.